Hey everyone, this is Tracy, and welcome to episode 2 where we are interviewing Jade Nelson.
Welcome to the Be Well, Be Keto podcast, where we showcase ordinary people who have achieved extraordinary results. Your host is the high energy girl, Tracy Gluheit.
All right, everyone. Well, today we are so excited to interview Jade, who I met at KetoCon. And she has a fantastic story that I'm really hoping will inspire everyone to actually see a solution when they have epilepsy. So, Jade, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your life before you actually found keto?
Well, I was diagnosed with epilepsy at a really young age. Official diagnosis was when I was 8, but my first seizure was when I was 7.5. And over the next 28 years, I was on a variety of different medications. And I mean, sometimes over the years, things were fine. I'd go seizure free. And then other times I would be struggling. And then as I got older, it just became more difficult because, you're an adult and you've got all these responsibilities. And every time a seizure happens, it kind of feels like a massive setback. So I struggled throughout that, did different medications, had really bad side effects. But through it all, I had hope that things could be different. And then 2 years ago, I switched to a new med that made me really sick. And about a year into changing those meds, my sister called me and said, "Have you ever thought about the ketogenic diet?" And I had known about it, but only thought that it was for pediatrics, children and stuff. So she just said, just look into it. And I did. And then I threw myself into it and took it on with full force. And I haven't looked back.
Awesome. So how has it changed your life, like your daily life, being on the ketogenic diet?
Well, so basically overall, I feel great. The side effects lessened immensely. And of course, my seizures are much more well controlled. So the ability to do things that I thought I would never, or I'd have to continue to struggle with, like I drive now. I've been able to meet so many different people that also are using it to heal themselves. But the only thing I can ever say is it's been completely life-changing for me. It has made me feel more empowered. It has made me feel as if I could do anything now. Before, I always had to second guess things and thought, well, is that the best thing for me health-wise? Now, sometimes it's like I don't have epilepsy anymore.
Oh. So like before keto, how many seizures were you having? How frequent? And then how is your frequency now?
So before keto, I would go stretches for years without them, but on average, I was having one large complex partial a year, and every month I'd have like maybe 3 or 4 small ones. But more than anything, the issue I struggled with was the side effects of the meds. That's what was the biggest issue in being on so many meds. So since then, it's more manageable, and I'm on the least amount I've ever been on. So.
Oh, cool. What kind of side effects does that medication have? Like,
well,
what's the worst?
Oh God. So I feel the worst is the moods. So it affects your brain quite mentally. Like I usually was depressed and I was quick to anger, and it felt like I was on an emotional roller coaster all the time because it would just be up and down, up and down. So that each individual is different in what they feel for side effects. But the last med that they had tried to put me on ended up causing me to lose 25 pounds, and I became underweight and got really sick. So that one was the hardest. And I also ended up with a lot of gastritis, stomach issues, and chronic headaches were one of the other big ones. So.
Oh, wow. What a bummer. So as far as like the health benefits, like we know that you're getting these wonderful health benefits, but is there anything you really enjoy about What's your favorite thing about keto aside from the health benefits? How do you feel? Do you like the food? Like that type of thing?
Yes, I love the food. So I feel like my favorite thing is the cooking. So a lot of people feel like when you're on keto that you're stuck eating the same thing. I hear that all the time, and that is not true. I've been able to be so unbelievably creative in the kitchen. Recently, I've got a list of like 10 recipes I've created myself, and I feel like it's opened up an avenue for me in creativity and cooking that I never would have done before, I don't think. And then the fact that it's healthy for you is just a massive bonus. So,
yeah. Do you feel like more mental clarity or, a lot of people have those types of wonderful side effects?
Definitely. I have all that. So I used to require 10 to 11 hours of sleep a night. And that is not the case. I used to also need a nap every afternoon just because of the medication and the seizures and being tired. And I can't remember the last time I took a nap. So, and I have such unlimited amounts of energy. I can get up, work in the office, and create content for my website for 3 hours, and then go to the gym, and then that is what's amazing is I don't ever feel tired anymore or fatigued or having a foggy brain, because the medication was also something that did that a lot. So
yeah, that's helpful, right? We can get stuff done.
Yes.
When you were starting out, did you hit any tough spots? Was it hard to get adapted? Tell me about the beginning of your keto journey.